Financial planners say that you should start saving for your retirement the day you start earning itself. What else must pre-retirees do for their old age to secure their retirement? The top 3 things on your list should be: calculate how much you need for your retirement, pump up your savings or investments if you feel there is a shortfall, and finally, buy health insurance. Now let's compare life pre and post retirement in terms of your investing. Certainly, the strategies and investment tools have to be different in the two life phases. Here's what Raghvendra Nam, Managing Director of Ladder Up Wealth Management, has to say.
So, Sambhavi, if you look at pre-retirement is a life where either you are accumulating for your post-retirement years, or you are fulfilling some of your family goals like your children's education and marriage, and then you have certain lifestyle goals. So moving to a bigger house, buying a bigger car, going for holidays, and all that. Whereas in post-retirement, because your family responsibilities are more or less over, so the focus is only on yourself and your wife, and your spouse basically, and so the goals basically shift to more leisure, medical expenses, and obviously ensuring that the wealth that you have accumulated does not get exhausted before your lifetime. So the strategy has to be different. Obviously, pre-retirement therefore focuses on growth and focuses on meeting these short-term goals that you may have, which are lifestyle as well as family goals. Whereas in post-retirement, the strategy shifts to capital preservation and fighting inflation. In pre-retirement, you will focus more on generating higher returns, and ensuring that your overall wealth is growing at optimal rate. Whereas in post-retirement, you want lesser volatility and stability of income. So while you may have riskier assets, but the percentage of riskier assets will come down.
There is another exercise, and that is estate planning. Many tend to overlook succession planning and leave it for the last minute. Here's why the task must never be avoided and not be left until later.
See, succession planning was always important. I think people should look at their around themselves. Every person would know at least one family which has been fighting in court over some property disputes. And without exception, there are crores of cases pending in courts, and the simple reason is that father or grandfather or great-grandfather did not write a simple will. And so we should not make that mistake. So we should basically have our wishes noted down in a will. And more so now because the uncertainties of life have gone up. We travel more, we undertake adventure activities. We are doing our lifestyle have undergone a change. We are eating more junk food. We are doing more socializing or more drinking and all those things. So because of all these factors, the uncertainty of life has actually gone up. Also, geographic families are now more geographically mobile. So, there is a very high probability your children may not stay in the same city as you have stayed. Okay. So all these reasons, basically, you should definitely do your succession planning when the times are good. Most people leave it when the times are bad, when they are, on their deathbed or on an ICU and all that, then they start thinking about that. That's not the right way of doing it.
The first step in estate planning is making a will, but there are other tasks that need to be checked off the list too.
So consolidation of assets is something that you should definitely have as part of your succession plan. So your family should be aware of what you hold and where is it kept. And actually in the absence of a document where you have clearly specified what kind of assets do you have, it could become a treasure hunt exercise for people after the demise of an individual. Okay, so that is something that is very important. Then you need to also basically make your all your investments, they are in sync with your will. So if you have a nomination or a joint holding in any asset, try and make it in sync and synchronize it with your will, because then you avoid chances of any confusion or disputes. Okay. And then it also depends on the complexity of your personal situation. So, whether a will is enough or you need to do something more. There could be a joint family structure where where a will may not be enough because the assets ownership is amongst multiple people. Or let's say typically that happens in business where there are multiple partners. So just a will may not be enough in those situations. You may have to do something more.
Now, is the will a sure shot, foolproof tool, or does it come with its own set of limitations? Turns out it does. And here are the watchouts.
Will is a very strong document, recognized under the law. But yes, of course, it has certain limitations. And so, one of the big limitations of will is that it results in immediate distribution of assets. So let's say somebody's son is 19 years of age, and he has written in his will that all my wealth goes to my son when, after my demise. And this guy gets all the wealth, let's say 19 years or 20 years. At that age, he doesn't have the maturity to handle all that wealth, or you are burdening that child when he should be creating his own personal experiences with your wealth. So immediate distribution is one big limitation of the will. Second is that will doesn't have any usefulness during the lifetime. It's just a piece of paper. Will come into a being only on the demise of the person. Before that, it is just a piece of paper without any usefulness. Okay, so what that also means is that if something were to happen to me, where I become, dependent on others, and let's say there's nobody to take care of me, then will is of no use. Will has to be probated immediately. So will and probate take typically 9 months to 12 months time. So that's another limitation of a will. And will basically can be subjected to scrutiny, subjected to challenge because of that will is not genuine or will is not being made in a legal manner. So all will is also prone to such disputes.
So how can one overcome these limitations? Is there a way out?
Seeking expert help is extremely important, and many people kind of want to bypass that, thinking, okay, will to bahut simple hai, I want to give all my wealth to my wife, so what's the big deal about it, let me write it myself. Okay, so they'll download a draft from Google and they'll write it, which is perfectly fine. Okay, there's no problem with that. The thing is that there are so many nuances around creating a strong document. Okay, so let's say you have created a will, but you have not mentioned an executor. Okay, so when the will comes for execution, there are multiple beneficiaries, and they'll actually have to go to the court, and the court will appoint administrators. Okay, so there are so many nuances around the subject of succession planning, and actually people should realize that you are dealing with very large sums of money. So taking expert help for this document, which will be a one-time expense, is something which is always recommended.
In closing, here are some final personal finance and financial planning tips and steps you should take to ensure a smooth retirement for yourself and your family.
People, one thing is that people should keep their family aware of what they earn, and they should basically, especially their spouse. Too many times we realize that it's the husband who's taking all the investment decisions and the wife is not bothered. And so basically that's not a very good situation. So when the times are good, it's always better that both husband and wife sit together when they are dealing with an investment expert, when they are looking or talking to their banker or a wealth manager. So in any financial decision that they are doing, if husband and wife both are involved, then the chances that there'll be mismanagement or there'll be something where some asset gets missed out, those things will not.
Remember that you should not sabotage your twilight years under any circumstance. You have to fend for yourself and have no revenue source except for interest incomes and your savings. So save now, save enough, and avoid any dangers that may make you run out of your money. Stay tuned with us for more on financial planning.